Chapter 320. Little Gold's Transition. Going back alive is the only way to inform Kangchon. Perhaps he has a chance to save Third Young. Going back alive is the only way to live up to Third Young Master's hard work. Yuan Lin's voice was low, his firm gaze looking into the distance with a resolute expression. This life of mine is Third Young Master's. I swear to find out where that person came from and avenge Third Young Master's death, a heavenly Dao sect disciple said firmly. My qualifications are limited. I'm afraid I won't be able to avenge Third Young, but I heard that their Jin family is also a cultivator family. So after I go back this time, I'll go to their Jin family and protect his family for him. Another heavenly Dao sect disciple said so. Yuan Lin looked at them and said in a deep voice, "We all owe him. So it's all the more reason why we can't die at this time, because this life of ours doesn't belong to us anymore. Let's go. We'll Thousand Blade Valley." The crowd of heavenly Dao sect disciples all had resolute faces. At the junction of the King's Land and the eastern battlefield, a huge black ship sailed in, and wherever it passed, poisonous smoke filled the air and a demonic aura was present. On this ship stood two figures. One was covered in a black robe, only revealing a pair of eerie eyes. The other person appeared somewhat mute, with bloodshot eyes and a pale face, his eyes as calm as water. Rumble. The giant ship roared and sailed into the eastern battlefield. The black-robed man looked down at the pale land below, a sinister smile in his eyes. Is this the eastern battlefield? Lu Hai, where's Kangchon now? This man was none other than the poison-killing emperor, who had come to the eastern battlefield from the land of kings in order to obtain the dawn, breaking immortal order. Behind him, Lu Hai, who had already been refined into a puppet, spoke at this moment. "Master, I feel that the bearing where the token is located is 300,000 miles to the east." So far away, poison-killing emperor froze. Then his eyes narrowed. 300,000 miles, or east, wouldn't that be in the Thousand Blade Saber Valley? It seems like he's going back for supplies. There's no rush. I'll wait for him at the eastern battlefield. I don't believe he'll stay at the base for the rest of his life. Legend has it that Loose Immortal Breaking Dawn was a very powerful Loose Immortal. Back then, even the demon sect patriarch, holding an immortal weapon, was only able to injure him, but not defeat him. And he left behind a cave that made many people in the cultivation world snoop around. 3 years ago, a heavenly Dao sect disciple called Zhaolinga dug up the grave of immortal Dawnbreaker, causing many people in the cultivation world to learn of the location of the Dawnbreaker's mansion. But unfortunately, the 3 keys that unlocked the Dawnbreaker's mansion were nowhere to be found. This time, the heavens have allowed me to learn of the location of the keys. It is obvious that this Dawnbreaker immortal mansion has a destiny with me. I must obtain it. Emperor Poison Slayer thought grimly. Thousand Blade Valley. After Kangchon and Xiaojin returned, they went to exchange their military honors, and then exchanged their contribution points for some healing elixirs, which were prepared for the purpose of crossing over. After all, as their cultivation increased, the power of the heavenly tribulation that they would have to cross would also become more and more powerful. And in this situation, it was impossible to cross the tribulation unharmed. Therefore, healing elixirs were a must. After exchanging enough pills, they once again left the Thousand Blade Valley and stopped on top of a mountainside 100 miles away. "Little Gold, are you ready?" On the mountainside, Kangchon asked gruffly. This place was the place he had chosen for Little Jin to cross over. The reason why he didn't choose to transmute in the Thousand Blade Valley was because Kangchon didn't want to attract attention, and this place was very close to the Thousand Blade Valley. Enemies wouldn't dare to come here, so he could transmute with peace of mind. "Brother, don't worry. It's just a small calamity. See how my little gold will blast it away." Xiaojin laughed. He looked very excited and thrilled. As long as after the tribulation, his strength would increase a lot. Not much worse than Kangchon. After coming to the orthodox battlefield, he felt that he would encounter more and more powerful people in the future. So he hoped to improve his strength as soon as possible, so that he could help Kang Chon in future battles. "Be careful." Kang Chon looked towards Xiao Jin and said softly. Little Gold grinned. Afterwards, Kang Chon's body came out and retreated into the distance, on top of a high mountain, stopping his feet to watch the slope where Little Gold was. Boom, a roar exploded. With Kang Chon's departure, the powerful aura on Little Gold's body was no longer concealed, and boomed straight through the sky, like a brilliant pillar of light, piercing through the clouds, causing the sky to change color. "Come on, heavenly tribulation. I, Little Gold. I am not afraid of you," Little Gold roared, his gaze untamed and full of arrogance. The aura he revealed was so huge that it was almost comparable to the peak of the outbreeding stage, and the heavens seemed to sense his aura as the sky began to flicker with lightning and thunder, violently stirring. Immediately after, a terrifying pressure descended, spreading over the sky and surging through the entire heaven and earth. Essence flashed in Little Gold's eyes, his face full of arrogance, not caring at all about this huge pressure. Third, along with the appearance of the huge pressure, the sky's robbery clouds also began to form, and a sea of thunder with a radius of 100 miles tore through the void, slowly descending from within the huge spatial cracks. On a distant mountain peak, Kang Chon gazed at it. A trace of gravity appeared in his eyes. This sea of thunder was incomparably huge, like a mass of energy, in which electricity flashed and thunder roared, emitting a terrifying power fluctuation. What a powerful heavenly calamity! Kang Chon changed color slightly. Even if he faced this terrifying heavenly calamity, he still had to be cautious. Almost at the instant this massive sea of thunder appeared, some powerful existences in the Thousand Blade Valley also woke up and looked at this direction in shock. Vader, a divine monkey. What a cheap law enforcement. Not only did he take in a good disciple, he also brought along a Vader, a divine monkey. A muffled grunt came from the Golden Palace in the sky above the Thousand Blade Valley. Heavenly tribulation, which senior is transiting here? No, a heavenly tribulation as weak as this is not the heavenly tribulation of emerging stage powerhouse. It's some supreme genius, daring to transmigrate near the Thousand Blade Valley. This person must be a genius of my heavenly Dao sect. I didn't expect that apart from Dao Yi and Jiao Wuji, my heavenly Dao sect would still have such a genius. Truly the heavens have blessed my heavenly Dao sect. Some of the divine separation stage and conjunction stage existences that were in seclusion in the Thousand Blade Valley also opened their eyes in surprise. And as Little Gold's full immunity descended, that violent energy fluctuation also drew the vibration of everyone within the Blade Valley. A Yuanying stage disciple, out of the body stage disciple, all heading towards the direction where the heavenly calamity was located. None of them were idiots. This genius who dared to choose the vicinity of the Knife Valley to cross the apocalypse was definitely a genius of the heavenly Dao sect. So they desperately wanted to know what kind of supreme genius had come out of the heavenly Dao sect again. Boom! A dazzling and piercing heavenly thunder ripped through the void, swooping down with unrivaled might. It was like a meteor, instantly approaching the ground from the heavens. A terrifying lightning that instantly flooded the entire mountain peak. Not far away, Kang Chon watched this scene with gravity. Little Gold had finally begun to cross the tribulation. The power of this first apocalypse, in Kang Chon's senses, was equivalent to the full force of a peak outbreathing stage powerhouse. Xiao Jin originally had the strength of a late outbreathing stage, and at this moment, after breaking through the outbreathing stage, his strength immediately reached the peak of the outbreathing stage. So in the face of this strike, he appeared to be at ease, and directly blasted the apocalypse lightning away with one punch. After the robbing thunder dissipated, those thunderbolts were on Little Gold's body, crackling and popping, looking incomparably gorgeous. Boom, 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 the three heavenly robberies descended at the same time a moment later. A terrifying might that enveloped the entire space, a dazzling thunderous light that engulfed the sky, vast and endless. Xiao Jin's eyes immediately became much more gloomy. The full force of the three-peak outbreathing stage strikes. It was impossible for him to easily resist this time. However, his gaze was unruly and untamed. He was not afraid at all, and he even charged directly into the sky, charging hard against the robbing thunder. Fighting fist. In midair, Little Gold presented his main body and struck out his fighting fist, meeting the three unrivaled robberies of lightning. Rumble. A deafening ringing sound shook the heavens and moved the earth. A terrifying storm of power swept across the entire heaven and earth, and the blazing light of thunder caused the sun in the sky to dim. The three robberies of thunder erupted with terrifying power, blasting Little Gold to the ground, and that terrifying power acted on Little Gold, causing his body to be smashed hard into the ground. The large mountainside was melted by a layer of that blazing lightning, and the earth shuddered violently. Roar! Soon after the thunder light completely disappeared, a golden-colored giant ape rushed out of the ground. He roared towards the sky, his gaze untamed and full of arrogance. Again, Little Gold roared at the sky's robbing clouds. Blood was flowing from the corner of his mouth. Obviously, the strike just now had caused him to suffer a considerable amount of injuries. He then took out some healing pills from his spatial ring and swallowed them as soon as he could. Instantly, his injuries began to recover rapidly, and the consumed true essence in his body was also recovering, and he soon returned to his peak state. On the distant mountain peak, Kang Qian, who was watching this place, sighed in relief. The pills he exchanged this time were all extremely high-grade pills. Every moment was incomparably precious, requiring a large amount of contribution points to exchange. However, it turned out that the medicinal effects of these pills did possess that many contribution points. Boom, boom, boom. Just as Kang Qian was thinking, not far away, the robber thunder once again descended. This time it was still three robber thunders, but these robber thunders were obviously much more powerful than the ones from the previous day, almost approaching the outbreathing stage Seal King level. However, for this kind of terrifying robber thunder, Xiao Jin still chose to fight hard. His body rushed up to the sky, displaying the fighting fist, blasting up to the heavens. Kill! Little Gold roared, his unyielding will charging up into the firmament first, blasting into the clouds. Afterwards, behind him, a tall golden-colored silhouette began to slowly appear. He was like Little Gold, with the appearance of a Vajra divine monkey, and was almost carved from the same mold as Little Gold. This was Little Jin's breakthrough to the out-of-body stage, the Tao God that he had condensed. And at this moment, the Tao God came out of his body, performing the fighting fist, and blasted up into the heavens ahead of him. Te-la-la, the three robberies and thunderbolts, unrivaled in power, slashed straight down, colliding with Little Gold's Tao God, erupting in a terrifying explosion. However, Little Gold's Tao God had only just coalesced after all, and was soon crushed by the three robberies. But the light of these robberies also dimmed even some, clearly consuming a lot. The third style of the fighting fisty battle heaven and battle earth. Xiao Jin roared. His entire person was enveloped in blazing golden light as he rushed into the clouds and blasted onto the robotic thunderbolts. Boom! A terrifyingly loud sound shook the heavens and the earth as Little Gold's entire person was blasted out and smashed heavily onto the ground. Similarly, those three robberies of lightning dissipated, broken by Little Gold's square punch. Pfft! The ruined mountainside was once again flattened out under the baptism of the robbing thunderbolts. Xiao Jin rushed out of the ground, his face a little pale as he spewed out a mouthful of blood. Hurriedly taking out pills and swallowing them, he meditated to heal his injuries. This time, The power of the 3 robbing thunderbolts was infinitely close to a strike from an outbreathing stage Seal King powerhouse, so he had suffered a great deal of injuries and needed to recover as soon as possible. However, Little Gold's gains were also very great. After a few robbing thunderbolts, his cultivation had been promoted from the first level of the outbreathing stage to the second level of the outbreathing stage. After half an hour, he had recovered 90% of his injuries, and at this time, the 8th robber thunderbolt descended. Rumble. This time, although only one heavenly tribulation had descended, the terrifying might was even more powerful than the previous 7 combined, and Xiaojin immediately changed color. Outer of body stage Seal King. Xiaojin whispered, his eyes incomparably grave. The attacking power of this heavenly tribulation thunderbolt was already comparable to the full force of an outbreeding stage Seal King strike.